Okay, there we go.
All right. Wow. Well, thank you for inviting Ron and I to speak on some aspects of public image. We're both members of the district public image team. And tonight, I want to talk about Rotary's image and why it is important. And oh, I see. Okay, I have to push that little arrow to make this work. Okay, it's important that we tell our story in ways that help people everywhere understand what Rotary does, how we're different, and why our work matters. And without this understanding, we can't reach our full potential and bring more people together and improve even more communities worldwide. No other organization is quite like Rotary. By using our unique voice consistently in all our messaging, we can ensure that our communications reflect our distinct character. If we speak, write, and design in one voice, our communications will sound, read, and look unmistakably like Rotary. And this will give our audience a better understanding of who we are. So tonight I'm going to focus on the look of Rotary, or Rotary's visual brand. Now, so what is branding? Most of us know about this branding exercise. The Rotary branding process is a little bit different. A brand is more than a logo. Rotary's brand is much bigger than its wheel. It's a perception. It's how others think about us, not just how we see ourselves. When we talk about the Rotary brand, we're talking about the basic qualities and goals that unite all Rotary clubs and districts. It's what we offer people who partner with us, join a club, or participate in our programs and projects. Our brand reflects our identity, our vision, and our essence, as well as our values. It represents our unique culture and our approach to creating lasting positive change. People's perception of Rotary comes from their experience with our clubs and our programs, along with the stories we tell and the images we share. Compelling, consistent brand communications, together with a great experience, can strengthen our brand and help us engage and attract more members, more donors, and more partners. Let's talk about using Rotary's logos as part of our public image branding. Rotary logos are part of our brand and they represent every one of our clubs. When people see our logos, they should immediately recognize them as Rotary's symbol of an organization that's taking action to make the world a better place. If you simply go out and search or Google for the Rotary official logo, you'll get countless iterations of the legacy wheel. Just trying to find that image. I missed it someplace here. Hang on. There it is. So when you do a Google search, these are the kind of things that show up. And a lot of them, well, they are recognizable, but a lot of them are just simply not the Rotary logo we use today. A few years ago, in 2014, I think, first of all, just going back to this slide, I think it was about 1905 when the first Rotary wheel was introduced. And there's been many versions of it up until now. And this is the current mark of excellence. And the wheel is now the recognized logo that we use. And the blue inner rim is gone from the previous wheel. This has caused a lot of talk. People complain that it doesn't show well. So the cure is simple. Put it in a background. And when you do that, it sticks out and it comes forward on its own very nicely. So let's talk about the elements of our logo. The master brand signature is the word Rotary and the wheel. This is our official logo, and the word Rotary is named, well, my slides are changing on their own. I'm sorry about that. So the elements of our official logo are this particular, what you see on the left part of the screen. There's two versions. There's the master brand signature, the regular one with Rotary International in the wheel. And then there's a simplified version, which basically is the same logo, but it doesn't have the Rotary International in here. We recommend using the simplified version when your logo is going to be smaller than 1.25 centimeters or half an inch, or used in embroidery on a golf shirt or a cap or whatever you're duplicating the image on. So let's go to my next one here. The master brand signature is our official logo, and it combines the word Rotary and the wheel, as I mentioned. If you can't replace, it's not proper to replace. That is not a font. That's a part of the logo. So we've seen versions of this where someone's used a different font and so on. The official logo is to be left as it is. And the colors in the logo are two colors, Rotary Royal Blue and Rotary Gold. And I'll give you a reference for those colors a little bit later on in the presentation. So that's the color version. And then here is the one color version. And depending on what you're using as a background, you may choose one of these to use because we want the logo to look its best on anything. So 100% black, 100% Rotary Azure, and 100% white for dark backgrounds are the choices in using one color logos. And a little bit about how we place the logo on printed material, signs, what have you, brochures, billboards, whatever. A lot of times I've seen our logo is stuck in the corner right up against borders. Well, there is a rule called clear space. And what that is basically this space around the logo. Oh, my slides want to change on their own here. So leave a distinct space around the logo that is equal to the height of the R in Rotary. And all of these guidelines are available and downloadable, so you can read all about the details. So if you're using the logo, first of all, make sure it is the newest version of the logo, which you're looking at. And just here's the clear space is important, that the Rotary logo has an invisible border around it. So it isn't look like it's sort of jammed into a corner, or there's other images on top of it and so on. Okay. All right. So I'm missing a slide here. Sorry, folks, but things want to change on their own here. Let me find my place. The Rotary wheel is called the Mark of Excellence, as I mentioned earlier. And when you use the mark of excellence, as you see in this particular 8.5 by 11 layout here, it is suggested that you also use the master brand signature, as you see down on the bottom. There's the mark of excellence, and there is our master brand signature. So that applies to any usage, posters, signs, brochures like this. And really the rule is there is no maximum height for the wheel, the size of the wheel, but the minimum size should be approximately, oh, there goes my slide again, is approximately 3 times the height of the wheel in the master brand. So this is 3 times the size of this. So it is the predominant thing in the use of when you're using the mark of excellence wheel. There is no simplified version of that. Always, when using the master brand, the mark of excellence, make sure it's the one with the Rotary International in the inset, the typing in there. Okay, so now let's talk about adapting the master brand signature to include your club name. And this should be used on all club level communications. There are several variations allowed to display your club name with the master brand signature. And because the name Rotary is already in the master brand signature, oh man, please quit changing on me like that. Because the name Rotary is already in the master brand signature, you don't need to repeat it. For example, the Rotary Club of Melfort would only add Club of Melfort under the word Rotary in our logo. The club name always appears on the same side as the word mark, which is this word Rotary, and it should right align with the Y in Rotary. That's very important. And there are different ways to do this. Positioning, some have it above the signature, some have it below. And here's an example of the Melfort logo. We chose to put our Club of Melfort underneath the master brand signature. And here's an alternative layout for the Brandon Sunset Club, where the club is identified using the spaces both above and below the master brand signature. Now, templates for all of these logos. It's quite simple to build these logos using the brand center at the Rotary.org site. Rotary.org/brand center is where you go to find all of those templates that will actually build your logo for you. You don't need to hire graphic artists to make up your logos. You simply go into that site, you put in the information about your club, and then it produces the logo, which is downloadable. So here's a few examples of Rotaract's logos, their combinations, their colors, the layout, and the master brands for Rotaract. And these are all in the guideline for logo usage. Again, downloadable from Rotary, the Rotary International site under the branding center. There's some Interact examples. And these can be customized as well, just like the regular Rotary Club logos I showed you. There's the layout for customizing them. And again, templates are available where you just put in the club information and it produces the logo for you. And there's in the guide, you will see information about spacing and sizing and all the color charts and so on. So how do we use our club master brand signature with club sponsored projects and service? Well, this is called the logo lockup, and there's a template in the brand center for this as well. So it consists of the master brand signature, the word Rotary, and the wheel. It consists of this divider rule that is to the right of it, and then you put your name of your partnership, even their logo, next to the master brand to show your partnership. And there we go. There's an example of one that our club uses for our annual radio days promotion. There's the lockup without the sponsor information in it. You go into the template, you enter what your sponsorship or your promotion is, or your partnership, and this is our radio days image that we use. Here's a few other examples of the master brand lockup, and those have the RILA partnership. Here's some examples using actual partners' logos. And again, in the actual guide, you will find sizing rules that, you know, these partnerships can't overpower the Rotary logo because that's our identification. That's our sign, our brand. So there are rules about sizing. Again, all of this information is very clearly outlined in the guidelines that are downloadable from the brand center. There's a few more partnership examples. Okay, and finally, the theme logo. This is the current theme for the current year, 2021-2022. Serve to change lives. That's the logo. And here are some rules. How do we use this particular element? Well, let's remember that these slides have a mind of their own and they want to go on their own here. Jeez. All right. Only use the theme logo for communicating with Rotarians. It's not there to use for public communications. It's selected each year by the RI president to inspire existing Rotarians. It can be confusing because it changes every year. It distracts from the master brand. So it should be used in almost all cases with the Rotary master brand. And again, there's the divider. Again, these are all available on the brand center, so they come ready-made, but you can customize this so your club name is in it. And again, this is an internal usage only. You're promoting the annual theme to your club only. So those are available in the form of a template. So here's some examples of some misuse of the Rotary logo. This is obviously the word Rotary is, there isn't sufficient contrast in the version that they chose to use this. It's blended in with the background. This version is ideal using a darker background. Use a color version of the logo when the printing is in full color, as this image is. You can just see it's just more striking using the color version in a full color layout. Don't use a shape, a holding shape like this little circle behind the logo, because it changes again the master brand signature. That isn't a part of it. So doing those little fancy backgrounders on there really aren't recommended if we're going to maintain the usage of our brand. When using the rotary wheel, don't crop the wheel. Some graphic artist decided that would be kind of neat. People can sort of understand it. Goes against the guidelines for the proper use of the Rotary brand. It should never be cropped, as you see in the below example. So a few examples of Rotary productions where they are in compliance with the guidelines. They're striking, they're clean, and of course they're recognizable as Rotary's brand. Some posters. And if you're looking for ideas, the Rotarian is a great place to look for layout ideas and promotional ideas, and also the brand center at the Rotary International site. This is a shot of our newest banner for District 5550's district governor. This is in one of these pull-up banners, a roll-up banner. And again, using the guidelines of the logo usage, the Rotary colors, and Ron Nordstrom prepared this for us and did a great job. So it just gives you an idea of the usage of the logo and the trademark for Rotary. So the last voice and visual identity guideline that I can get my hands on is for 2019-2020. So I'm assuming nothing has changed since then, because it's still the same logo, and the only thing is the theme has changed. But that is downloadable at rotary.org/brand center, one word. And I suggest if you're doing any of the public image work for your club, that you have a copy of this. It's a great tool, and it has literally everything you need to know about using the Rotary logo. When you go to the brand center, this is the opening page at the Rotary International site, and you see that there's the logo section where all the templates are. There's where you get your guidelines. There's sample ads in there that you can download. There's images, there's videos, commercials, fully produced commercials available, and there's PowerPoint slideshows and so on. A lot of material at the brand center, and definitely worth exploring if you haven't been in there before. If you've got any questions about it or have some problems getting in there, let me know and I can give you a hand with that. So just in closing, recommendation to all club public image chairs and presidents, possibly whoever's looking after your imaging, get a copy of the Voice and Visual Identity Guide for Rotarians from the Brand Center. Most importantly, follow the guidelines. Look for examples. There's training materials on the international site, and look at the Rotarian for some great ideas. If you have questions, we're going to have a Q&A opportunity after Ron's presentation, but contact me anytime. I'm chair of our team, and happy to try to find some answers to your questions. And my email is ksinger@sasktel.net. We'll make this material, these references available to you on the YouTube video from tonight's session as well. But feel free to contact us if you have any questions. But if in most cases, you'll find your answer in that publication with the guidelines. So anyway, that concludes my presentation. I hope that was helpful to you. I hope that I haven't confused you in any way. If I have, you'll find your way through that guideline pretty easily and I think find the answers you're looking for, but let me know if there's something I can help you with. All right, and that concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Ken, we had decided that people could ask questions after your presentation rather than waiting until both presentations. So if you do have questions for Ken, could you put them in the chat and we'll be monitoring it? There is one question in there from Carolyn. Is it difficult to find clothing with the Rotary insignia on it? There were a couple of suggestions, but people should check into those. Ken, do you want to add anything to that?
If you follow the guidelines for the usage of the logos, I particularly, for our club, we have gone to a local supplier, but we've used the guidelines to make sure that those logos are in compliance with the rules for the use of the logos. I don't know. I don't have the answer. Is there a district official supplier of Rotary materials? I know
Well,
at our conference, we usually have somebody there with.
Yes, Harry from CSR Advertising sells in all of the Rotary stuff in Canada. And then there's Russell Hampton out of the States. So both of those are the official deliverers of Rotary insignia, objects, clothing, you name it. They have everything.
Yeah, so when you're dealing with them, then you can be assured that they're using the guidelines correctly. So for the logos. Any others? Oh,
There's one question that asked whether the word Canada can be placed on the right side of the logo to identify Rotary Canada, presumably.
the guideline states that any of that localized identification has to be on the left side, associated either above or below, or both above and below the word Rotary. So yeah, so I mean, you can easily do that, but it's not the trademark of Rotary to have that on the other side. I mean, you could put the word Canada in as part of your club identification, certainly. But as far as any other additional words, they're all, as outlined again in the guideline, they're to appear with the word mark Rotary, so on the left side of the wheel. The nice thing about using those templates is you don't have to worry about the font, the color, anything, because you simply put the information in and you can have a look at it. If you're not happy with it, then just don't download it. But you can try different things and you'll get, it'll quickly generate the logo for you and you get to look at it and you can download it. And as I say, if there are some questions after you've created the template, you can send them off to me. We can have a look at them as well if you like, if you want us to have a look at it as a committee. But definitely the template is the safest way to go because it does all of the hard work, the spacing and the alignment and so on.
Okay, thank you so much, Ken. Oh, is there one more question?
Yeah,
Sorry.
I have a question. That is on something like a baseball hat or a t-shirt. Is it acceptable to have just the master wheel without having the word Rotary?
Again, it is, yeah, you can do that. And again, just, using the guideline with the words Rotary International in there, or but it's in the guide, it's recommended that somewhere in association with your visual of the wheel, you see the master signature, which is the Rotary and the wheel together. So my suggestion would be, for example, if you had a cap with the Rotary wheel on the above the visor, that would include, maybe you could put the Rotary logo on in a smaller version on the side or the back of the cap, or yeah.